back to an episode of the 3 Count Super. I'm War Machine MJ, and I'm feeling casual because I ain't have to go to work today. Anyway, I'm here today to talk about Monday Night Raw from April 20th, 420, and April 22nd, 27th. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get cracking. So, we kicked off the show with Drew McIntyre, the current WWE champion, basically addressing the vicious attack Seth Rollins gave him the week previous. And, yeah, didn't want to have the Messiah jump through any hoops and just challenge him directly. So, you know, he wants a piece of Seth Rollins. Of course, he was distracted. No, he was then interrupted, if I can get my words together, by Zelina Vega and her crew. You know, they go at it, good bunch. And of course, Andrade came out of nowhere to sneak attack Drew McIntyre, but McIntyre gave him 2 claymores and sent him on his way. Then we had the first Monday Night Raw qualifying match as Aleister Black took on Austin Theory. And this was a pretty good match. Austin Theory got put away with the Black Mass, and Aleister Black vowed that he's going to climb the corporate ladder and he's going to make it floor hell for everyone who gets in his way. Next we had Shayna Baszler defeating Indy Hartwell after Shayna stomped out Hartwell's arm. And after the match, Shayna then just beat the hell out of Hartwell some more. Next we had Cedric Alexander and Ricochet defeating Brendan Vink and Shane Thorne. There was a backstage segment where Bobby Lashley flipped some tires in the gym. Next we had Nia Jax taking on Kairi Sane, and yeah, this was the match where there was a really nasty buckle bomb where either Kairi sold it really well or it looked like she legitimately just banged her head on the middle rope on the way down. Looked very scary. Nia Jax then put away Kairi Sane with the Annihilator, which I think that's just the Samoan drop, for the victory. Next there was a Seth Rollins promo that he cut from, I'm guessing, his house, where he basically drew comparisons to himself and Drew McIntyre. But he said he accepted the match because the WWE Universe needs a leader, and who better than the Messiah. Next, there was some carpool karaoke from the Viking Raiders, who looked like they were legitimately having a ball. Next, MVP cut a promo on Apollo Crews, basically saying he's one hell of an athlete and this, that, and the other, but MVP's going to win because he's got more experience than Apollo Crews. That then led to their match where, yeah, this was a really fantastic match. Towards the beginning of the match, MVP was trash-talking Apollo Crews, basically naming off all the big names that MVP has knocked off in his first go at the WWE. But in the end, Apollo Crews got the victory with a Blue Thunder Driver to punch his ticket to the corporate Money in the Bank. Next, there was a Liv Morgan Ruby Riott match. Again, another fantastic match, but Liv Morgan put Ruby Riott away with a with a... Wait, did they... It says flatliner, but there was a match where she did a springboard flatliner, bouncing off the middle rope. Oh, no, no. That was next week. Anyway, yeah, Liv got the victory with a flatliner. Next, it was Rey Mysterio taking on the Prophet, not the Prophet, the Disciple Murphy in a Money in the Bank qualifying match. Of course, fantastic match, but Mysterio ultimately got the victory and punched his ticket to Money in the Bank. So, yeah. Next, we had Charlotte Flair defeating Caden Carter. Caden Carter tapped out to the figure 8. No surprise. Then Andrade defeated Akira Tozawa with a hammerlock DDT off the top turnbuckle. Then there was Bianca Belair defeating Santana Garrett with KOD. And finally, in the main event, Drew McIntyre taking on Angel Garza. Yeah, this was a bit on the short side, but Drew McIntyre beat Angel Garza and yeah, beat him with the Claymore. And then after the match, he Claymored Garza a second time, and then he Claymored Austin Theory, and then I believe he hit the ring, Claymored Andrade as well after jaw-jacking it with commentary. Then while all three men were kind of just downed and out in the ring, Drew McIntyre hit the ramp and just did his own LIJ pose, which was icing. Love Drew McIntyre as champion. Shame that he's not able to go the distance with this championship given all the circumstances that's going on. Next, the April 27th edition of Monday Night Raw, where we kicked off the show with Apollo Crews, Aleister Black, and Rey Mysterio being guests on the MVP's VIP lounge, where MVP hyped up all three men's participation in the Money in the Bank. Of course, that was cut short by Zelina Vega and her crew, which led to a six-man tag team match immediately after commercial, where Apollo Crews, Aleister Black, and Rey Mysterio got the victory over Andrade, Angel Garza, and Austin Theory. Andrade put away... Apollo Crews put away Andrade with a powerbomb. Later on in the night, Andrade and Zelina Vega were trash talking Apollo Crews, saying that, you know, just because he pinned the U.S. champion doesn't mean anything. Of course, Apollo Crews rolled up, slapped the hell out of Andrade. It was just this nice gunshot of a slap right across the face, and then challenged the United States champion to a championship match later on in the night. Next was going to be a triple threat match amongst all the Raw Women's Money in the Bank competitors, which was Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, and Asuka, but the match never rung, and, well, Nia Jax wound up putting out Asuka and Shayna Baszler. And then she went on to have a promo with Charlie Caruso, basically emphasis of she can do whatever she wants and nobody's going to stop her. Next, we had Bobby Lashley defeating Denzel Dejournette with a spear. Next, we had another fantastic Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott match where Liv Morgan busted out her new finisher, the Oblivion, which Ruby Riott was draped over the ropes. Liv Morgan bounced off the ropes with, with her seat into a flatliner. 1, 2, 3. Afterwards, she had a really awkward interview where she got asked what's next, but she said she has many chapters left in her career and will figure it out. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Next, we had the return of Jinder Mahal as he defeated Akira Tozawa with the Colossus. Afterwards, we got the United States Championship match between Apollo Crews and Andrade, and Apollo Crews was putting on work. He was doing work. However, this match ended in ref stoppage when Apollo Crews appeared to blow out his knee on a frog splash. Later on in the show, there was a backstage segment that showed him just kind of leaving out on crutches and kind of crying. Next, we had a Viking Raiders and Street Profit promo, basically where Viking Raiders are back to their usual cadences, and Street Profits cut a serious promo against the Viking Raiders, and that set up their tag match next week. Next, we had Ricochet and Cedric Alexander defeating NXT tag team Everrise with a double stomp and flatliner combo. Afterwards, there was a promo from MVP, basically saying he's going to be backing Shane Thorne and Brendan Vink as the two of them take on Ricochet and Alexander. And finally, in the main event, we had a contract signing between Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre, of course, hosted by Jerry the King Lawler, who was not on commentary for this episode, but instead we were graced by Samoa Joe, who was on commentary, and he's always a delight to hear on commentary. Anyway, Seth Rollins came to the ring in a suit and tie. He looked like a champion. Drew McIntyre hit the ring, and he told Jerry, he's like, "You know how this goes down, leave." So Drew McIntyre says absolutely nothing, signs his name on the dotted line, passes over to Seth, and told him, we did business your way, now we're going to do business my way. And of course, before Seth signed on the dotted line, he gave his little rah-rah Messiah speech. Yeah, basically, he wants to lead the Monday Night Raw ship, blah, 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 blah. Drew McIntyre just basically told him he's full of shit, and he's going to kick his head off at Money in the Bank. Of course, when they both got into it, Murphy came out and gave some help to Seth Rollins, of course, while the two stood there eyeing each other like, the prodigal son has returned. Drew McIntyre was gearing up for a Claymore. Murphy shoves Rollins out of the way, and he eats all of the Claymore. So yeah, he took a bullet for the Messiah. And that's how we end Monday Night Raw. So, that being said, if you miss Rodimus Prime, he has a podcast. It is Prime Talk with Rodimus Prime. Go check it out. As always, I'm War Machine MJ, the face of the 3 Count Mafia, and I will see you guys next time. Bang!